So, this is the story of two papers, just to show you how varied the response can be. So, both papers are about the Congo. The first paper starts off with the title that says Imperialism in the Congo. Paper 2 starts off with a title that says King Leopold II should have stuck to chocolate. The second paper seems a little bit more interesting. The first paper starts off with establishing the time and place. The Belgian Congo took role in 1874 to 1960. This was a time period of terror for the natives. Imperialism is when a stronger country takes over a less powerful country. Paper number 2, or the other paper, says around the turn of the century, colonial powers in Europe were scrambling for a piece of the vast untouched African land filled with natural resources. In the late 19th century, King Leopold II of Belgium sought out to establish his small colony as one of the powers of Europe. To do so, he claimed a large portion of land in Central Africa called the Congo. So, do both papers do what they should in terms of the time and place and providing an explanation of key words necessary to the knowledge of the paper, like imperialism? Sure. The first paper has some short, choppy sentences and is doing in a very quick way that doesn't really paint a picture that's engaging. The other thing is that if you notice, they didn't even capitalize the very country that their essay is about, which is the Congo. I'm also not sure what it means when they say the Belgian Congo took role. I think they mean took place. It's unclear. The other thing is imperialism is when a stronger country takes over a less powerful country. Not entirely. That could be part of it, but sometimes countries are pretty powerful in their own right and they're conquered by an imperial nation. So there's a little bit more to it. When you look at the other example, you'll see that there's some background knowledge about how European powers were scrambling for this land because it had natural resources, and then segueing in to how King Leopold wanted to do this as well. Also, think about how grammatically and punctuation and capitalization wise, this second example is more accurate and a little bit easier to read. So, these are two examples of how two students might approach the beginning of this essay. I'm going to leave this here for one moment. So if you wanted to pause and to read this intro, you'll notice that I see these little blue underlines, and they're giving us some grammar suggestions. And also, they're giving us some capitalization suggestions. So please don't ignore those marks on your own paper. I also don't see a controlling idea statement. It ends with the Belgians treated the natives as if they were slaves. If I go back to the other paper, I will pause it right here. So if you want to read the whole thing, you can. You can see a little bit more context about the time period and why rubber was in demand, and then a segue into that controlling idea statement.